What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Guest Week here on the Full Command channel. Guest number 2, and we got a special one. We got John from Ballin in Burgundy. He is hopping on to bless us with his presence, and John and I are going to answer some very potent questions involving the Commanders. We're going to talk position battles, who's going to make the roster, who's going to get the starting job, who's at risk of getting cut, and a whole lot more. So I hope you guys got your popcorn. It's going to be a fun one. And John, thank you for joining us all here today.
Welcome. I'm always welcome back, and I'm always happy to be back. I'm always blessed to be back.
For sure. I mean, definitely, I would say, I think it's fair. Look, I love all the guests, okay? I love everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I got to give you the title of the funniest guest on the channel. I think you're the funniest one we have in the community. So I said grab your popcorn. Maybe grab your laughs as well. Get your laughs ready because John's going to, I'm sure he's going to deliver for us.
I might have a few things ready up the sleeve at all times.
Well, as I teased in the intro there, we are going to be talking about questions at every position on the roster. That's going to be who makes the 53-man, who is above who. You already know when we talk about who makes the roster, we got to talk about some Luke McCaffrey because people love the Luke controversy. So we are going to get into all of that in just one moment. Real quick before we do, if you all appreciate the content here, first and foremost, go check out John at Ballin and Burgundy podcast. Got over 1,000 subs recently, on the climb to 1,100. But beyond that, on the climb to 2,000 and 5,000. Make sure you guys go supporting him over there. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and hype buttons. That's the number one way that you can support me. Subscribe to my channel as well. And any thoughts and opinions you guys have, throw them on down in the comment section below. This is meant to be interactive. And I'm always patrolling. I'm sure John will be as well. We want to know what you have to say about our thoughts.
Hey, I'm always in these comment sections. I love talking to the people, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. If you're on there, I'm always talking to the people. It's always a good time.
All right, so we're going to go through every position. And granted, some positions have more questions than the other. And some of the questions are going to be a little more, how do I say this? Maybe not relevant, but a little more influential on the Commanders' bottom line. But I think the best way that we start this out is by going to the quarterbacks. And I can't think of a quarterback question involving the starter because that's Mr. JD5 right there. So the question that I've come up with that I'm going to pose to you, does Kaliakmanis make the 53-man roster?
I think he does. I think he 100% does. You didn't bring back Josh Johnson. There's not really a backup quarterback out there behind Marcus. You're going, well, if Marcus goes down, I feel competent enough that this guy can, come in. We know what Sam Hartman is. He is an unofficial but unofficial L'Oreal and Dove soap model. Same for Lawrence Cage. He'll be a model after football. So we got 2 models on the team. I think Ethan makes the 53-man roster, and especially you draft him, top 30 visit. He swayed them during the visit, as they eloquently put it. I think he 100% makes the 53.
Yeah, that's the point that I've been making, specifically the draft pick piece of it.
Yeah.
And I will say, after the draft, I was kicking myself. I was like, when I did all my mock drafts, why did I not pick Kaliakmanis in the 7th round? Now, I mean, I probably wouldn't have made the pick personally, but when you look at everybody they brought on the top 30 visits, it's Sonny Styles and Jeremiah Love and Caleb Downs and Arbel Reese. Ethan Kaliakmanis, what's he doing here? Should have been a dead giveaway that they were going to draft him. But my take on this is you only get so many picks per draft. They had even fewer picks than usual, and they didn't have a second. They didn't have a fourth. So if they drafted Kaliakmanis, they value him, and if they sent him to the practice squad, another team would be able to come claim him. And if he left, that's like you just burned a draft pick for nothing. Yep. So I think it's pretty much a lock that he does end up on the roster. We'll go to running backs. Bill, people have varying levels of expectations for him, but I think everybody agrees he will start the year as RB1. RB2 gets a little bit more interesting, and some of the third down back title stuff gets a little weird because people say, well, Rachaad White is clearly third down back, but that also doesn't mean he's getting carries. It means he's going to be on the field for passing downs. My question to you, who runs the ball more times this season, Rachaad White or Kaytron Allen?
I would say Rachaad White. They don't bring in the way they did. They don't he wasn't a big pickup in free agency. Everyone was like, oh, I mean, I guess it's Rachaad White. All right, cool. He was the number 2 behind. He was the number 1 in Tampa until Bucky Irving got there. I mean, everyone who was watching Bucky Irving film from Oregon, you dropped him to Tampa. We all went, man, I mentioned Bucky and JD. We all wish. You saw what he did in Tampa Bay. So I think Rachaad White is going to be the 2. He's also your Austin Eckler replacement, your big receiving back who can run the football. Now, Kaytron, I think, is a better runner than Rachaad, so that's why people are going to be well, Kaytron could get more carries. Well, it's going to be running back, room by committee. I think Rachaad White's definitely going to be the running back 2's going to get more carries. I don't know how long that's going to last because he's on a 1-year deal, where Kaytron's got 3.25 years on that 5th year, on that 5th round contract, because they love to, worry about that halfway through his contract years. But I think Rachaad White gets more carries over Kaytron in the long term.
So Rachaad White, I would definitely say he's going to get more snaps than Kaytron Allen. But Rachaad White, while you're right, obviously he was RB1 in Tampa, his receiving numbers have been pretty large. So the first 2 years, it's 58 targets, 50 receptions, then it's 70 targets, 64 receptions. And then even with Bucky, the last 2 seasons, 57 targets, 51 receptions, 45 targets, 40 receptions. So he'll definitely be on the field more. Does that actually equate to more carries? If we're doing the Sonic and Knuckles duo and we're saying, okay, well, Bill is clearly Sonic Gibbs in that comparison. If I had to pick a David Montgomery comp, I would go Kaytron Allen before I would go Rachaad White.
I'm with you on that one. We got Sonic and Knuckles. People were saying, Fat Man and Robin, Fat Man and Bill. Also, as a brother who is already, a large man, 260 on built like a small guard, calling yourself Fat Man at 5'10", 200 pounds. No, I don't care that your mama gave it to you. That is not the nickname you run with in life. You run with K, you run with Tron, K, like you run with anything else. Flynn Rider, like anything else. But Fat Man, I'm sorry. That name just kills me every time.
As a running back, too, Fat Man, I don't want my running back to be called Fat Man. I'm sorry. That does not sound like a guy that's going to go win me a football game.
D-tackle all day.
If they called Dexter Lawrence Fat Man, sign me up. But not the running back.
Even a fullback. If Ben Sinnott said, I'm going to fullback, I put on some mass, put on a little bit of weight, and they're calling me Fat Man because I had to bulk up a little bit. All right, you know what? Team love. It's an internal nickname. We all get a laugh out of it. You came out willingly, voluntarily. With Delta Airlines said, we need someone to get off this flight. You said, Fat Man will sign me up. I'm getting off the plane my damn self. I'm getting out of this situation entirely. It is insane.
Let's talk about the wide receivers. So the way that I see it, they're keeping 6 wide receivers. That's what you want to do. I know some teams will keep 5. They kept 7 at the start of 24. I can't remember if they had 5 or 6 week 1 last season, but 6 is normally the average number. Right now, I would say that there are 7 NFL bodies on the team. Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, Antonio Williams, Treylon Burks, Dyami Brown, Jalen Lane, and Van Jefferson would be number 7. Obviously, Van's probably towards the bottom of that. But those are the 7 guys. And this is without a potential Stephon Diggs arrival, a potential Brandon Ayuk arrival. If we just look at who's there right now, and I tell you 6 guys are making it, or here's a better question, matter of fact. Stephon Diggs does get signed. Brandon Ayuk does get signed. So you have to take 2 of these guys out. I would assume we're both getting rid of Van Jefferson as one of them. So who is the other guy? Who's the next man out?
Honestly, people are going to hate me because I talked about this Monday night with reading on the Burgundy breakdown. I think Dyami could be the other on man out. Okay. You put in draft capital for Antonio. You put in draft capital for Luke. You put in draft capital for Jalen. You use both of the last 2 names on special teams. Those are your kick and your punt returners. Even on the unofficial depth chart right now, it's Jalen Lane as your 1, Sainristil as your 2, because Luke's still technically injured in their books. But when he's not injured, he guarantees you 30 to 45 yards returning the ball. Well, that's up to the half midfield. I think Dyami, for all intents and purposes, you sign a 1-year, $4 million deal? $2 million?
I think guaranteed. It was like 2.4 or something like that.
Even less. You are making less then our 3rd-round pick, and probably I think he's taking less than our 5th-round pick.
Maybe.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if you bring in Diggs or Ayuk or both, and then you have to stretch the roster to 7, Van's gone because every team could use a Van Jefferson. We joked about that on Monday. I could very well see Dyami Brown being like, Diggs, well, he's from DC. Ayuk knows AP and is Jaden's boy. Draft pick, draft pick, draft pick. Terry McLaurin. Well, there's 6.
Yeah.
Dyami as your 7. He's practice squad or he's shipping out to the docks.
So let's just say wide receiver to be named. That's either Diggs or Ayuk. Terry, wide receiver to be named, Antonio Williams. There's your starting 3. Luke and Lane are not going anywhere. The conversations on Twitter actually infuriate me
It's
because
hilarious.
Jalen Lane was a border. He can be an all-pro punt returner. He's already close to that level. Luke McCaffrey was an all-pro level kick returner who through 8 games was on pace to smash Dyami Brown's career best season and equal Treylon Burks' career best season, which happened 4 or 5 years ago. Like those two are not going anywhere. Terry's not going anywhere. Williams isn't going anywhere. I'm missing. Who am I missing? Oh, it would be the receiver to be named, which puts us at 5. Which means for me, if they have 6 guys, it's between Treylon Burks and Dyami Brown. So I'm with you there. I think in that case, they do pick Dyami over Treylon. They both are going to play the same sort of role in the offense. Yeah. Dyami Brown is healthier. He's more available. I do think they buy into him showing up in the playoff stretch. I think that could be the separator for the two of them. I mean, Treylon Burks had the best catch of the season. That was the 2nd touchdown of his NFL career. And the guy was drafted in 2020 or 2021. So, I mean, I'm with you. Like, those are the guys that are on the chopping block. But the real reason I asked the question is because we both agreed Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane are not going anywhere. And if you think that, I'm sorry, but you got to reevaluate that.
No. It's going to be one thing if come camp time, and God forbid, I'm knocking on my wood desk, Luke or Jalen gets injured, and then you ship them to practice squad, you put them on IR, the pup list. All right, cool. That frees up frees up the roster spot. That gives them 4 weeks to recover, guarantee, because it's the whole rule. You have to give them 4 weeks to do this, this, and this.
Yep.
All right, cool. Then you bring in Burks, you bring in Dyami, maybe you bring up Ja'Cory, you bring up, Bradley, you bring up Chris Hilton, who I think could make a shot to make this roster between the two this year. I think Hilton, because of that Jaden Daniels relationship and worked out with Terry at UCLA the whole 9. But I'm on the opposite boat between Burks and Dyami. I think Burks has more upside.
Fair.
Bigger, a little stronger, can high point the catch. Dyami is a great stretch the field kind of guy. Cool. Jalen Lane runs the same speed. Luke McCaffrey is taller than Dyami with similar speed. We've seen this. We were seeing this in year 1 with Luke of saying, yo, he's wide open 60 yards down the field. We just can't get the ball off. And those are miscommunications. We have, like, Jalen Lane is fast. So is Dyami. Luke McCaffrey can stretch the field. So can Dyami. What do we really need Dyami Brown for? Like, we brought him back, great. But I was just like, this is a camp body. This is a Michael Gallup last year. This is a Martavius Bryant in summer camp. And I was killing them both, and I was still right. But I'm just like, this doesn't, unless you're right, unless you're solely relying on his playoff run in 2024, contract be damn, in 2025, he made $2 million in Jacksonville. He comes back for a 5th of that. I'm like, what is $2.4 million in a $50 million cap space right now?
Tight ends. Who spends more time on the field, John Bates or Ben Sinnott?
Man, this pains me to say because I've been a Ben Sinnott truther since day 1.
Oh,
John Bates is staying on the field at all times. We had this conversation with Lake Lewis the other week. We all love Ben Sinnott. I don't think Cliff knew what to do with him, frankly enough, because he played more fullback than he did tight end at Kansas State. He will be the number 3 tight end in this room, and it's so unfortunate because he was supposed to be so much better than what he is right now. But John Bates, he's going to see the field. I would say if Chig is getting majority of the snaps, I think it's going to be 70% Chig, I think it's going to be 25% John Bates. I don't think Sinnott's going to get in a lot of snaps.
I made a video earlier today where I was going over the rise in 12 and 13 personnel usage, and the Rams are an interesting case study because they were in 13 personnel on 30% of plays. And I mean, I don't think the Commanders are going to do that, but when they do get to those looks, Chig, Bates, and Sinnott blend together extremely well because they're all different, but they all have a bit of overlap. Like Bates is blocking, Chig is receiving, Sinnott is the middle of the two of them. So I think they could get to cool looks in those instances, but I'm with you. Right now, I've also been a Ben Sinnott truther, but I think the truth is that he's at the bottom looking up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like he's become a great blocker, which a lot of us didn't have on the bingo sheets of Ben Sinnott the blocker. Yeah. But the fact that your career highlight, outside of the touchdown, which is the only one you have in your career, which is still a great touchdown, is your catch from Tressway on a 4th and 10 against Philly in the NFC Championship game. Again, a great moment, a great play. And the fact that we remember it 2 years later is fantastic. That's kind of the only play you've made, Ben. I'm sorry. It's kind of the only play you've made.
That's QB1 Tressway right there. Don't talk. Let's get to the offensive line. Chris Paul, Brandon Coleman. This will be my question for you. Actually, no. Let me change this. Which non-starter last season has a better chance starting this season? So your options are Brandon Coleman over Chris Paul or Matt Gulbin over Nick Allegretti.
Oh, Gulbin over Allegretti. And that's not even recency bias. That's not even because I called Gulbin 3 months ago at pick 200 and insert below 10. I said this also on Monday. I could very well see Brandon Coleman, if he cannot produce at guard or get any snaps at center, come trade deadline. Hey, anybody need a 7th round draft pick for this guy? Anybody just want him just because? It is year 3. You had an okay rookie season. You had an I second year getting in where you could. We brought back Chris Paul. We drafted Nick. You move Allegretti to the inside, truly play center. You draft Matt Gulbin. They are still high on Tim McKay. They are relatively high on Julian Good-Jones for whatever reason. If you can't get snaps anywhere on the inside, left, right, or center, do we have a Dom Hampton 2.0 on the offensive side?
I think it's the difference there is, I mean, Dom Hampton didn't play as a rookie, and then he played one preseason game as a sophomore, and he stuck out like a sore thumb. Brandon Coleman has had good moments, and I will say, even though he was supposed to be a guard last year, when he got to play tackle, which was in the final 2 weeks, and then also the Chiefs game where he came in for Tunsil, he was awesome. And when he was the 6th offensive lineman, when he was like they were in the jumbo package, he was excellent. So I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, man, can you learn to play guard? Because it's clearly there. The talent, the athleticism, it's all there. We just got to learn the position.
Look, I'm not trying to take away from Brandon Coleman. He's doing way more in his life than I will ever do in the next 10 years. Making more money than I will ever see in my lifetime. I hope not. But you were the first of the two 3rd round draft picks in 2024. It was you, and then it was Luke at pick 100, which is really just a 4th round pick. You were a guard at TCU. You were drafted to play tackle. What happened to those guard tendencies? Did they just get swept under the rug? Did we wash our hands? The last little bits of COVID went along with your guard, instincts. What happened in the last year and a half that you went tackle, guard, and now we're back to square one? Like, what happened here?
It's a mystery to me. And I thought that he had a chance to play center this season because down the stretch last year, DQ was talking about him looking good, snapping the ball in practice. But then they evidently appear confident in Allegretti, and they draft Matt Gulbin, so he can't play center either now. So it's like they tried to clear the deck. They tried to let Chris Paul walk, and the market just never materialized for him. So he's back on a 1 year. They are like begging Coleman to go win the job.
Yeah. Look, I mean, again, I'm not asking for him to like lose his job. None of us are asking for those guys to lose their jobs. That's just unfair. But you're in year 3. And like you just pointed out, Chris Paul didn't have a market the way we all thought he was going to have a market. Coleman is now what, guard 4? Him, Cosme, Allegretti is probably going to be put back outside if one of those two guys goes down. You got Gulbin stepping in. Coleman has to play to a strength. You have Connolly and Cosme on the right. You have Tunsil on the left. So if it's a three-man blitz set and you have a linebacker come inside, all right, cool. 5 against 4, 5 against 3. You use them for a swing tackle, a swing guard, jumbo package, cool. You now look on hindsight and saying we drafted a 3rd round tackle into guard to be our 6th offensive lineman on packages that'll happen 15% of the time. That's rough. That's bad drafting on AP's part and coaching on DQ and Cliff's part, frankly.
And they didn't expect it, to be fair. He was told to train left tackle, and then they traded for Tunsil. And then they told him to train right tackle, and then they drafted Connerly. So, like, I'm not mad at them if they thought that was upgrading.
Right.
And clearly they thought Coleman could play left guard, but it's been poor asset management up to this point. I'll give you another one here. Let's fast forward to the end of the season. Let's go to the defense. Talk about the defensive line. Which is more likely? Javon Kinlaw gets cut or Deron Payne gets extended?
Ooh. Those are 2 interesting options because I could see them both gone in 2027. I'm gonna go with Javon on this one. I think the fact that they've shown confidence in Deron to not let him go this offseason, to not try to get any sort of compensation packages, get a 3rd, get a 4th, get a 5th, whatever. 2027 is Javon's last year on his contract. 3-year, $45 million. I think was only 33 guaranteed. So you can get off the books for a relatively low cap hit. And frankly, we don't know what we have in Jerzon Newton at this rate, unfortunately. You had to bring guys back. You brought in, I think Jeffrey Imba out of SMU was going to give Newton a run for his money. And frankly, might give Deron run for his money at his size and speed. So I'm gonna say Kinlaw is probably gone, whether it's trade deadline or it's late December, early January, and we'll see if we can make the playoffs. I'm not high on either of those takes. I think, frankly, if we see Deron go by trade deadline, we could very well see a younger, faster D line. But I'm gonna go with Kinlaw's cut.
Okay, so we'll talk about the edge rushers here. So Odafe Oweh was my number 1 target for the Commanders this offseason. I was over the moon when AP signed. I think Amik Robertson was the first one, and it was like late. At first, it might have been second day, and then I think Oweh was the first one on the 3rd day, and that kind of opened the floodgates. So I'll give you one for Odafe Oweh to kick it off. Which is more likely here? Odafe Oweh gets at least 13 sacks, or Frankie Luvu makes an all-pro team again?
Ooh. I'll go with Oweh on this one. The fact that he produced the way he did in a split season between the Chargers and the Ravens, and it's really just his time in Baltimore. I think they already have a plan for Oweh. The fact that you signed him to a 4-year, $100 million contract. Armstrong is still coming off injury. I don't know what they're gonna do with Luvu. I think he's gonna hover now like he did in 2024. Chanel, Styles, and we'll get into linebackers later. I don't think Luvu will make an all-pro in his career if he hasn't already. I think Oweh could get to double-digit sacks if he can get off tackles. Because that is one thing you look at some of the tape. He can get caught up here and there, but I think the fact that it's him on one side, Armstrong, Josephs, I could see a double-digit sack season for Odafe Oweh.
There are a bunch of linebackers on this team, so I'm struggling with what question to ask you, but I think I have what I want to go with. Which is more likely here? Sonny Styles wins Rookie of the Year, or Kane Madrano gets cut.
Is there an option for both?
If you want to take it that way, go for it.
I wasn't the highest fan of the Camadrano pick to begin with. I've made that perfectly clear. I think you could have gone a second receiver, could have gone a second cornerback, could have got an actual safety at the 6th round from last year. The fact that they compared him to a safety and a linebacker's body, you use that speed at safety. Go give Quan Martin a run for his money. Go give Tyler Owens a run for his money. Like, do something. You bring in Leo Chenal. You draft Sonny Styles. You still have his running mate, Oweh, which they like KO more than Madrano. I don't know what it is.
Jordan
I
McGee.
think Jordan McGee's still there. Luvu's still there. Ballor is still there. He's your special teamer. I could very well see Sonny Styles ranking defensive rookie of the year or in contention because everyone's already high on him. And come August time when we got to start cutting the fat off this roster and putting in the smoker for the season, I could see Madrano being a practice squad. If not, he will be shipped off to Lord knows where. I'll say both.
Yeah, so I did my first 53-man roster prediction, and I only had them keeping 4 defensive tackles, which could end up being light. It might be 5. And then
That's
they
5.
had, I think I had like 6 edge rushers / outside linebackers, and then 5 inside linebackers. And it's like, that's so many people in the front
so
7.
much.
That's like 16 or 17 of your 53-man in the front 7. Which is it's just a lot of guys to carry.
Almost too many.
We'll go over to safeties. So Quan Martin is going to be given the chance to win that free safety job. Like despite protests from people in the peanut gallery, which is you and I and everybody else.
Yeah.
Not that we're protesting, but we're the peanut gallery.
Exactly.
Which is more likely? Quan Martin gets extended or Quan Martin gets benched during the season?
Ooh.
And when I say benched, I mean like not just one game. Like he loses his starting spot.
Because I know, and from what we've heard in press conferences and media quotes and coaches' breakfasts, and if they were at a hotel in Tempe, Arizona, we would have heard about it too. They love them some Quan Martin.
Yes,
for whatever reason. I'm gonna go on the hot zone. I think he could be extended before he gets cut.
Okay. I didn't even say cut. I said benched, but you're saying that you think they'll extend him.
I don't think he didn't get benched really all last season either, and he was healthy. He played with 2 separated shoulders and was at a Pro Bowl level, and he's completely healthy and is missing tackles and interceptions. Like, looking at the roster, I'm taking Quan over Percy Butler. I'm taking Quan over Quintarius Knight. I'm taking Quan over Tyler Owens, and I love me some Tyler Owens. We know what Jeremy Reeves is. We know what Will Harris is. The only other outlier in the confirmed signed roster room is Robert McDaniel, and he's been a practice squad preseason guy the whole time. So that only leaves you McDaniels from the practice squad, Malik Spencer from the practice squad, and I got high hopes for him. I think he can make this roster out of Michigan State.
Yep.
We know Will. We know Nick Cross ain't going nowhere. So there's 4. Quan Martin. 5. Oh, well, we need someone who can adapt to the system, and we really believe in him. And if we get to like December and I don't see a Quan Martin 3-year extension news post come across our desks, I'm going to be shocked rather than him being benched and all of us having an elation time on YouTube.
The interesting thing with their safety room, and I really, really was surprised they didn't draft a safety because I thought safety was the deepest position in the whole draft. Like the Eagles got, I forget if it was round 6 or round 7, but they got Cole Wisniewski, and I think that guy, I think he's better than Epps. I think he could probably be starting for them this season. I think it's going to be him and Makuba back there. Now that kind of feeds into the issue, which I'm about to get to with the Commanders. But basically, all of their safeties they're more strong safeties. They're more box guys. Nick Cross is a box playing safety. Tyler Owens, box. Jeremy Reeves, box. like you start to, when you look at who's actually in that post area, who's comfortable covering deep down the field. Quan Martin, although he did not play well last year, that's his specialty. And I'll put air quotes around that because nothing last year was a specialty aside from missing tackles. But Quan did play solid there in 24. Like that's where the potential is. Will Harris is probably the backup if it doesn't work out, but Will Harris should be playing strong safety as well. He would just be playing deeper down the field out of necessity. So I'm with you that I think Malik Spencer has a sneaky chance to make this roster. But where his job is really difficult is the Commanders are probably going to keep 6 safeties for special teams, and they're not just good. Like, we're talking best in the NFL borderline with Percy Butler. Jeremy Reeves wasn't there last year, but he's still good, and he's been an all-pro in his career. Tyler Owens, really good. So Malik Spencer can't make the team and play special teams. Like, he has to be starting on defense, which is it's a high bar to clear. For all of those reasons, I'm with you. Like, they want to trust Quan Martin, and I think they'll give him this entire year, and they'll see what happens.
Yeah. Look, I said this with Lake, and I said this coming out of the draft. I think Spencer and Imba are going to be the 2 highest UDFAs to make the biggest shots for the roster at D tackle and safety. Malik Spencer is a true coverage free safety. Will Harris now has an injury history with us alone. Quan Martin has had 2 separated shoulders in 1 season. So now
that's good though. That's when he plays well.
It's fantastic work. It's fantastic. Problem is, he won't disclose the injury, so he won't go on PUP or IR. Well, if Harris is gone, Revo, we know what he is. Like we said, we know what Owens is. We know what Butler is. Don't know why he's still on the team. Malik now has a chance to be free safety 2. That is asking a lot from him, and it's unfair to him, but I want to make the roster. Again, I could also see a situation where Durante goes, like you pointed out, box safety, box safety, box safety, strong safety, strong safety. Who's playing free safety with Quan? Oh, Malik. Who's making the trim off this roster? Madrano, you're out of here. Bring up Malik.
I think it's possible. I think there definitely is a chance of that. And you mentioned Robert McDaniel, and I want to throw him in there too because I'm a big Robert McDaniel fan. I'm not going to act like I watched a lot of Jackson State while he was there, but back when they signed him as a UDFA in 24, I looked at the numbers. I went back and I watched. I was like, wait, this dude kicks ass. And it's the same thing with him. He's a box playing guy. Maybe he can be a bigger nickel, but he's not filling that spot either. So I would expect if this season doesn't go well for Quan, that's got to be like their number one upgrade of next offseason, whether that's a trade, a signing, a draft pick. But like, they rolled the dice here. I mean, they signed Nick Cross. Sure, they signed Amik Robertson, but everybody was saying this secondary stinks. You got to upgrade it. And they didn't really do all that much to it. Like, again, I like the signing Nick Cross. I'm intrigued by Amik Robertson, but there were options. There were there were Jaquan Brisker and all these other dudes. There was Caleb Downs in the draft and all these big names. Mansour Delane. I get the Chiefs traded up. Like, there are dudes there, and they just said, nah, we're cool. We're going to focus on the front 7. So clearly they trust the guys in the secondary. Final position, because I'm not going to make you do punters and kickers. Like, is Tressway going to make a Pro Bowl? Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Yeah.
Is Jake Moody going to be able to kick from 50? Probably not. Nobody in a Commander's uniform can kick. We'll go with the corners. And I think there's only one player that this can be about. It's got to be about Mike Sainristil.
Yeah.
When we get to the end of the season, is Mike Sainristil looked at as a stroke of AP genius, or are fans cheering him out of town? Which is more likely? Because it could be in the middle, but you have to pick which is more likely.
What is truly more likely if these past 2 years are a indication of signs to come? We're running Mike Sainristil out of town, unfortunately. Look, I've got high hopes for him because a Durante Jones, Brian Flores defense doesn't rely on superstar corners or safeties. Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith, Byron Murphy Jr. in Minnesota. Those names aren't flying off the charts, and frankly, Harrison Smith is a dying breed of safety. So there is that. But I don't know whether they use Mikey as a true, almost. I'm gonna use this term. It's gonna piss some fans off. Piss some fans off. He is what we thought Landon Collins was going to be at the end of his career with Ron as a Buffalo nickel is. He wants to be corner. He is more suited for safety / pseudo linebacker.
Interesting.
That Buffalo nickel, because look at his Michigan tape. Blitzer, middle of the field, pick artist. He is not a deep coverage guy. You throw on a AJ Brown, an Amon-Ra St. Brown, a Malik Neighbors. I wouldn't dare use him against a running back like Bijan or Jameer. He get his ankles shifted to the shadow realm. I wouldn't trust that. But you use him almost as your middle of the field patroller in terms of tackling ability and ball coverage. He has 7 picks in 2 years. That is more than everyone on this team, I think, combined on the
I
defense.
think you're right.
Which is like Luvu, I think he has 2 in his Commander's career. Bobby has 1. I think Duran might have 1 in his whole Washington career. Nick Cross just got here, so I'm not counting him. Will Harris was injured most of the season, not counting him. Quan Martin has the pick 6 in the NFC Championship game, or the NFC playoffs. That's only 6 in 8 players. Quan has 7 in 2 years. So if you can use him correctly, great. I think, again, he was one of the better players in that draft class, regardless of the secondary. I just have to see the defensive schematics. I got to see the defensive playbook, which I'll never see in a day of my life. But if the past 2 years an indication of things to come, we as fans are futile. We are, what's the word Dan O'Brien used years ago? Oh, we are fickle. Football fans are fickle.
Yep.
We are very easy ones to turn face, turn heel, turn face, turn heel as a wrestling term. We like to flip the sides when we see fit. We are like, actually, I won't make that joke because we're a PG show here on Full Command. I'm saving grain, guys. I'm saving grain here.
Gotta keep the monetization.
Hey, I push him overboard and then I threw the life preserver. Went. That's my bad. But I sorely and truly think if the way these past 2 years and the way fans have already reacted to him working out on his farm and not in the weight room, they're going to run him out of town.
Did you see the new one? I forget the exact description, but it was like morning workouts for men, morning home workouts for men, and he had 185 on the squat bar, and they were killing him. And he said, "Don't judge, that's my wife's weight." And I was like, I hope so, Mikey. I hope.
I mean,
if my starting corner squatting 185, we got a problem here.
We got a problem because I think Mikey only weighs 195. So
I think he weighs less, honestly. I like.
What does the team say?
I think he was 182 at his combine, and
God.
I mean, he's not a defensive tackle or a lineman. Like those guys are lighter in the offseason and they bulk up in season. He's probably bulked going into the combine, so he's probably lighter than that. He's probably in the like high 170s.
So Mike Sainristil on the commanders.com roster website, because I want to make sure I got all my names correct. He is listed 25 years young, 5'10", 182 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at his combine. He was at the combine, he was 5'9" and 3/8, 182.
So even if we got him to 190, let's just say he's put on mass in the last 2 years. Let's
squatting 185.
Squatting 185. I am 6'1", 280. Because I haven't gone to the gym in the past month. It's been a graduation month, so I've skipped. I could probably squat Mike Sainristil.
Well, yeah,
I can.
So.
I can pick up my father, who is about 200 pounds, and squat him. So if our starting corner actually is 190, 195, soaking wet with his uniform on, squatting 185. We got bigger issues than just his coverage skills. I need to see these weight trainers. I need to talk to it's not Moore anymore because he's out of Michigan. It's not Harbaugh anymore. He's over at LAC. I need to talk to the Michigan coaching staff when he was there and saying, y'all are in Michigan. I know y'all got some food. Y'all couldn't feed him? Couldn't give him some Wheaties and stay in the morning?
Yeah, look, here's the thing, and we'll wrap this up. because
Yeah.
we've been yapping for a little bit. But I'm with you that Mikey's obviously not your deep coverage corner. That's not where he should be. Like you said, I have hope that the Durante Jones scheme can help because it's about containing deep vertically, and he's not going to be one-on-one. He's going to have safety help. He'll have players patrolling underneath. They'll be blitzing. The ball should be coming out. That means he's playing with more instincts. He's not left
Yep.
exposed deep down the field. So, like, for all of those reasons, I can see Mikey having a very good year. I think he's been better outside and needs to play outside, but he really should be playing inside with his skills. He's just too small. Like,
Yeah.
and I, this isn't me disparaging shorter people, lighter people. Like, you can go be great.
Yeah.
In this NFL, with how congested everything is, with the uptick in 12 and 13 personnel, like having a 178, 180-pound player as your like middle field player, it's an issue. You can't set the edge. You can't just defeat blocks. You can't get downhill. Even if you get there, are you going to get run over by the running back? He doesn't have the speed to travel laterally to keep up with receivers on crossers. So it's just like they're in a bit of a pickle with him.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened when he came downhill, like a Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams, yeah. You'll never forget that.
Send him to the upper room. Before we wrap up, one player I forgot we signed this whole offseason until Monday night, and I went through our depth chart. I went, when did we sign him? Akella Witherspoon.
Yeah. He might start,
all.
honestly. He has a chance to
I think
start.
he will. I think he will. 6'2", 195. So he's already bigger and taller and heavier than Mikey. But I remember texting Rams, like going back through the archives. I remember texting Rams fans. Shout out to Alexis. I was like, is Witherspoon good? And she was like, as your 4? Yeah. I was like, we good. we Trey, Mikey, Robertson, Witherspoon. We've dealt with way worse secondaries in Washington. I'm Forbes and St. Groupie. Already an upgrade. But I was like, how did I mentally block out? We signed Akella Witherspoon for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I don't remember it at all. And like we still have Vigors on the roster, which whatever, they love him. Some Carlin Vigors, cool, great. Happy for the kid. And Trey Hawkins out of my ODU, great, cool. He hasn't done much. We still need help back there regardless. I don't know what they're gonna do, but having Akella Witherspoon puts me at ease a little bit.
I'll give you one name to watch. I don't know if you saw my video the other day. I think they might kick the tires on L'Jarius Sneed. Now, Charles Omenihu, as of like 30 minutes ago, this is live information as we're recording here, is posting Instagram stories of him. He's campaigning for him. And what I found out when I was researching for that video the other day, L'Jarius Sneed and Amik Robertson were teammates at Louisiana Tech. I did not know that. But L'Jarius Sneed and Amik Robertson in the same season made all conference. Amik was first team all conference. Sneed was second team all conference. And shout out to Amik Robertson. He was a first team all American that season. I did not know that. Yeah, it was him, Derek Stingley, like a couple other of these massive names, and then Amik Robertson. His stats were nuts. He had 60 tackles, 16 pass deflections, 5 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, a sack, and a forced fumble.
Yeah. That'll do it. Those are SEC numbers, and he's playing at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah. So shout out to Amik Robertson.
Shout out to Meek. I'm not mad at L'Jarius Sneed. He did nothing in Tennessee, and frankly, who was?
Right.
I am more open to bringing in L'Jarius Sneed than I am bringing in to Brandon Ayuk, and that is a hot take. Whatever. It's going to cost us way less. There's no baggage on it, and frankly, there's actually a better case for him to make it with the Amik Robertson connection and the Charles Omenihu campaign than Mr. I haven't seen the field in 19 months with no guaranteed money. No one can seem to get in contact with me, and yet I'm still somehow going to behave in DC. I'll take Sneed over Ayuk. People can roast me, flame me. Let's have a good discourse.
Well, if they sign Snead and if they sign Ayuk especially, then we'll definitely need to get running back and we can talk about it more. But John, I appreciate you coming on here. This is your chance. I know we got the Ballin and Burgundy channel, but whatever plugs you got, throw them out there.
Like I said, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, at Ballin and Burgundy podcast, and then every now Monday nights, not on Netflix. We're not running against Monday Night Raw. Monday night breakdown, Reedy, Z, John, and one guy talking sports, the Burgundy breakdowns, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm going to invest maybe into Facebook because those numbers seem to do well with the Facebook community, and Twitter doesn't want to allow me to live stream to Twitter, I guess, because I don't have 1,000 followers on Twitter. No, because I'm not paying $14.99 for a blue check mark.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I'm paying it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm paying it.
You're a better man than me because I refuse. Your boy broke right now. But yeah, at Ballin and Burgundy podcast, at the Burgundy breakdown, it's always a good time. Got more content coming on the way. It's just a little busy at BIB Studios. That's all it is.
Well, definitely check out John and Ballin and Burgundy. Again, they do awesome stuff over there. John, again, you upheld the title, probably the funniest guest we have on the channel. If you get competition one day, I'll let you know. You can come back. But definitely go check out my guy's channel. He's going to be tagged in the title of this video, or he'll be at the top of the description. I don't know, but you should see it on your screen without having to look too far. So definitely go check him out. Send him a comment on one of his latest videos. Say thanks for dropping by. That's going to do it for us here. If you enjoyed, hit the like and the hype button. Subscribe if you're new around here on the climb to 7K, where we are doing a giveaway as well. And yeah, whatever thoughts and opinions you guys have, make sure you throw them down in the comment section below. So that's going to do it. Appreciate y'all joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.
Chew with me.